Thanks for staying with us. So, allegedly, late Chief Emmanuel Morayo's will sparked controversy online as details allegedly of his will included a clause that barred his wife, Frances Chinonyerem Inwerem, from remarrying if she wishes to keep her inheritance. This condition was revealed in the will, which was made public. According to the document, she will forfeit all her properties, including the legacy house in Owerri, the McGill furniture and real estate stakes, if she decides to remarry. While this report has not been debunked yet by the family, it's not a scenario that's alien to us in Africa. So the conversation is on the issue, not on the persons.
Right.
What will make a man keenly interested in whether his wife is remarries or not after his own demise? Should a husband's will control a widow's life after his death? Do you think a spouse's inheritance should be affected if they choose to remarry? That's our conversation issue. So let's remove the person or the persons involved, because we're focusing on the African issue here. You can call us on 020-1635-2013, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. So, when a man dies and he's about to die, or he doesn't even know he's dying, he writes a will. Not just as me, he writes a will and says that my 38-year-old wife, young woman, not even, they never crossed 40.
Young and fine.
Young and beautiful woman, said that if I die, you cannot remarry. If you remarry, you lose all the wealth that you have today. How do you interpret this in your own mind? Who'd like to go first, Gemma?
Okay, so I'd like to point out a few facts.
Okay.
10 years, say 10, 12 years before that, this person, taking out the person anyway, but this person in this particular scenario also lost a spouse. 2 years after, you get married.
That's the woman.
The man.
The man.
Yes.
He had a first wife.
Then 10 years down the line, another person is put in that same position you were in, but you give the person a clause to say, after I am gone, you cannot remarry. If you do, you lose everything. Now that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, the clause is, do not remarry.
Doesn't mean you can have a boyfriend.
Doesn't mean you can have a lover. Doesn't mean you can have a partner.
Living.
It didn't state you can't have other children. So that clause, for me, looking at it critically, begins to make me think or wonder. From the perspective of the man, it could be a thing about just wanting to protect his legacy,
security,
protect his, would I say, bloodline, because in the situation where the woman gets married at the end of the day, it gives whoever she is married to, her spouse, legal right, legal access to his properties.
Okay, that's an angle.
I'd like to know what happens after she dies. What happens to the property? I wish there's a clause or there's something else that will happen to the property, because I feel that so many people in life just are very materialistic. You're dead, you're dead. Whatever you've left, you just hope to have people that can preserve your legacy. You can't. How long will you do it? At most, maybe the next 30, 40 years, it's gone. You know, so how much longer can you hold on to this stuff? So, but let me go from the other angle. He had a wife that built the legacy with him. He would likely, maybe he's respecting the memory and the legacy of the wife who built this with him. And you can tell, maybe he has seen some questionable characters that he has said, okay, I don't think this woman will cherish what I have. I don't think, we've seen so many people after they die, their houses, their kids abandon the houses and travel abroad. And at the end of the day, everything just dies off. One thing I want to mention is there are women who marry these rich men because of their money. So I also feel that it's a way of letting those women who go in just for the money to know that nothing for you, because people can be as bad as, okay, just wanting to make sure they unalive their partner just to get access to the wealth. It's just alleging. But we know there are people that love money that much. So looking at it from that angle, you will not really blame him, especially if she has ulterior motive. But maybe I'm thinking that clause will have a timeline. Maybe after 50 years, maybe the lawyer will have it somewhere. After 40 years, 50 years, okay, you can now release it to so person, or if you don't get married to a certain age.
Maybe they're giving it to other people. But I'll come back to you, Abigail. Let me come to you, Amaka. What are your thoughts when you heard this thing?
Okay, so my thoughts is because something I can relate with, right? First of all, I beg to differ when we talk about like it's just property, 30 years, 40 years. All over the world, monarchies in Rome, everywhere in the world, legacies have been preserved like this for generations, hundreds of years. And I come from and this is personal to me because I come from a family where my great-grandfather was a king, my great-grandmother was so wealthy, she married other women to bear her name. And the will in my family is that properties don't pass to the wives. It stays in the family for generations. So I come from this kind of family where if you're married into the family, you don't get the property. It has to pass from generation. It has to pass within the children.
Only the sons.
No, the daughters. The daughters, the sons. Women are powerful from where I come from. So it passes, family, legacy continues. And I don't think there's anything wrong in that. So it's not personal to him doubting his wife. And I'm happy you know that he had a wife before. Also built that. So it has nothing to do. He has made sure that the wives are always provided for till the day they die. They are well taken care of. And like Choma said, you can have a living lover, you can have a partner, you can do whatever. But you can't remarry and take that property outside of that family to your husband's place. Because if someone has bequeathed something to you, that there's a legacy line to that property, and you get married to somebody else, within the law, like as in if it's a court marriage, a civil marriage, the property has access to it. And then the children, which is first generation, has lost something, has lost the legacy and an inheritance that can take care of them and their children.
So it's not about selfishness, because in my own view, my own response is that this is a selfish man. Why would he deny a woman he said he loves the riches that they built together? But now you're explaining that in some families it is a generational wealth to be passed on. I guess that wasn't clear there. But now in the modern times where we're saying modern marriages, once I have married you, we share, it's 50-50. Should those generational laws still stand in 2025? It's a question, because it's important for us to look at it, because you are okay with it, but your child might not be okay with it. Your niece might not be okay with it, because they were evolving. They're no more living in this side of town. Many of them are maybe living in different countries, and I'm wondering, I don't want that wealth. No, it's mine now. We're going to share it. So I'm going to hand it over. So my question is does it still serve us to retain those kinds of laws, if indeed it exists, as Amaka has alluded to?
If I may state, I do not think he's a selfish person, because what he bequeathed to her was really a lot.
Yes, a lot.
It's a lot. So that's a man who values her. Else he probably would have left her in the care of the family to say, give to her whatever you think, and which will be monetary, say every month, or do you get what I mean? If we're looking at these laws and saying, are they relevant to us in modern times, I would now begin to ask, where is the place of prenups?
Exactly.
There weren't prenups back in the days, but now we have prenups. They are it's the same law, but we find name. Same old. Do you get what I mean? So it's not really about culture or us as a people. I think it's an individual thing as well. It's an individual thing. It's an individual fear as well. It's also feeds off experiences, whether personal experiences or experiences we have seen other people live through. So it puts people in positions where there are trust issues. And those trust issues can lead people to now take decisions like, how am I sure you're coming into this for me and not for the money? And so to prove that you're in this for me, we're putting it on paper.
So my question now again, Choma, is when we make it look as if marriage should be about love, for me, this is just transaction. And I think as much as we like to watch all these romance movies and I feel like, oh, I fell in love. Going back to what it really is, it's transactional.
Most of the time.
Why is it now time for us now in 2025 to face the reality That this time we're looking for marriage, I want to meet somebody tall, dark, and handsome. It's not about that. It's about what can you bring to the table. Because according to what I'm seeing here, this woman married at the age of 26. She's 38. She's a young woman. A 38 woman who should be able to remarry or even have a lover. Now, the thing is that if we say it's okay to have a lover, morally it is wrong in our side. So which side are we standing on?
So,
because I'm getting confused. 1 second say, oh, she stayed married. And now married, well, he didn't say he shouldn't have a lover now. But she's not supposed to have a lover. So what are we allowing?
So I'm going to talk from, I have 2 points on this issue, what you just said. So the first one is, I can't overemphasize the fact that people don't talk about a lot of certain conversations, financial conversations before this marriage. And I keep saying, and people think that, oh, Amaka, I love money so much and I want to be secured in the love, right? And you should think the same way too. If I'm marrying a wealthy man that has created wealth before I met him, we have to have a sit down and have a conversation. You should not be scared or feel embarrassed or, I don't know, about having certain conversations that matter to yourself, your children, and your future. What's going on? How will I be taken care of? You had children before I came into the picture. Okay, are you buying certain properties in my name that are my own?
Just because you're married, just start buying property in your name.
But people do it. Yes.
Marry you.
But Morayo, people do that because if someone loves you and then he knows that he wants to keep certain things within his family, he settles you. A lot of people do that.
It's not love, it's transaction.
No, it's not. No, Morayo, it's not because they need to protect it. Every day we talk about generational wealth, and that's why the Jews are the strongest financial. This is where they are today because they keep it within the Jewish community, and they've built generational wealth, and that's what everybody should aim to achieve: generational wealth. And I think there should be a school that teach people now how to create generational wealth, how to keep it, and how to maintain legacies and certain things, which I think we are lacking. Because if you check historically in African culture, where we had the kings, the queens, where we had certain things, I think we are losing our culture too as Africans.
Okay, so I actually align with you in that aspect. Chinua Achebe says, do not forget where the rain starts to beat you. So you see that most of our culture, we are battling with passing our culture and tradition to the next generation because most of our cultures have been lost in transit. I thought my millennial child thinks it's archaic, it's barbaric, and she jettisons it or he throws it away and decides to teach him how to play Nintendo and the rest of them. He doesn't know how to play Sway and all those games, you know. It's already getting lost. And I think many people want many things. Different people want different things. What I would want in life might be different from what you want in life. My legacy might just be, okay, let me create it for myself. People get immortalized after they die. And till they die, someone like Dangote, I don't think you'll forget him in a hurry. You know, he doesn't have to say, do not marry for this property and all that. But I actually feel that one way he's trying to preserve and protect her is to maybe save her from, you know, those vultures that will want to, oh, the wife of late this person, there will be money. It's on this table, okay, maybe on the Pigeon Show where we talked about a lady who had inheritance from her late husband. One man comes complaining, I told her my business is dwindling. I brought her from the house, the mansion she's staying in, to stay in my 2-bedroom. I've been feeding her family. I've told her to sell one of the property and give me to do my business. Those kind of self-entitled men that we know are everywhere this time.
Exactly.
You know, their praise. I feel is a way to protect her because if that clause is existing and a man is coming in, he knows that there's nothing for you, no shishi for you, so you can't come back and take this. But I am saying... Okay,
because I want you guys to understand me.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with everything you said, but I just don't want us to be hypocritical. A young woman is in love. She wants to get married. And we encourage her to find the bone of her bone, the person that like you guys can have, find your friend. Find, you know, we keep telling these young people these things. But the girl is telling herself that, I don't want to find all those things. I want a 70-year-old rich man that can take care of me. That's all I want. We discourage her. The society discourages her. But she's like, because I want to be pampered. I cannot come and kill myself. So this 70-year-old man would marry me. Now, according to what Amaka is saying, that, okay, even if you marry a 70-year-old man, what are the terms of engagement? Now, you give me this, you give me that. When you die, this is what I get. My question, therefore, is, are we encouraging this type of marriage? Because we've always discouraged young people to just go for money. But I'm not saying that's what this woman went for. But is this an acceptable option for a young woman saying, no, I just want to, I don't care about love, I don't care about connection, I don't care about conversation. I just want somebody that can care for me, period. And is that something that society is saying we need to start looking into? Because if we are saying this woman's situation and say that it's okay, that man loved her enough to at least allow her to stay in the marriage until whenever she's ready to go. As long as she doesn't leave that marriage, she can stay with his wealth. So we are recognizing it as love. If you're recognizing that as love, would you also recognize that for somebody, a young person who just wants to enter that kind of marriage and say, okay, auntie, when you get to 30 years, there's a possibility this man might die and you not get anything if you leave the marriage. Are we okay with that? That's really what I'm saying.
The truth is, from Nigerian adult age is 18. So at 18, whatever life decision you take, I think you're solely responsible. Nobody tells you
Society
what to do.
allow you
So that's why they say do not allow, so because society will crumble you. Society is there to guide you, but society is not there to rule you. Because first of all, what's your happiness? Where do you find your happiness? We can't say all these young girls getting into those kind of marriage, they all went there because of taking care of them. I think sometimes they just want to, that's what they love. Back then in school, in my university days, there was this girl that said she can never date a young guy. She would always go for an older person. And you would see how she loves them genuinely. She said she likes to take care of them. So we can't generalize that every young person getting into a certain marriage of age bracket, they are going because of the money. But I actually feel that people can express or be where they want to be. That part, you said something about, okay, you want to go ahead? You said something about,
I think I have to go on a break. When I come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.